Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Mudblood Cal here. So today we're going to be going over everything that you might have missed that happened in the Elite Eight, my thoughts on it. And yeah, let's get into it. Leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at MudbloodCal. And UCLA, I'm recording this right after UCLA. Well, UCLA won their game like 2 minutes ago, and I'm recording this. But we'll get into UCLA in a little bit. I think we're going to start with the Oregon State-Houston game. But before we do that, one last thing. I'm going to be posting my Final Four predictions either the day this video comes out, which will be Wednesday the 31st, or I'll probably be posting them I'll probably be posting them either Friday the 2nd or Thursday the 1st. Probably Friday the 2nd, now that I think about it. But let's get into Oregon State and Houston. So just absolutely dominant first half from Houston, 34-17 at the break. I started watching some other stuff. I was switching between the two. Until Oregon State had a really good second half, managed to make a comeback, had the lead at one point. They just fall short. 67-61 Houston advances to the Final Four. And just what a game from Quentin Grimes and Marcus Sasser. 38 points between the two. And that's a great guard. That's a fantastic guard duo. Probably debatably one of the, I wouldn't say the best one left. There's a lot of good guard duos left at this point. Going into the Final Four, Thompson had an off game, just wasn't good shooting wise. 13 from Kalu. He was Oregon State's leading scorer, but not really like an all around good game, at least scoring wise for anyone. On Oregon State, and they shot 46% from the field. It's very rare that you shoot 14-15% more from the field than your opponent, higher from the field than your opponent does, and lose the game. But if you look at the rebound numbers, 29-41 in favor of Houston, I think you can see why that happened a little bit. Both teams were average from three, only 55% on free throws for Oregon State. In Oregon State, they were a fun story. They probably wouldn't have been in the tournament if it wasn't for their run in the Pac-12 to win the championship. They'd went on a run in the tournament, beating Tennessee and Oklahoma and Loyola. Interestingly enough, I think they had a harder path to the Elite Eight than Houston had to the Final Four. Considering Houston, the highest seed they've beaten so far is a 10. Houston, one more thing with Houston, the highest seed they've beaten so far in this tournament is a 10, and they only played two teams that made the tournament the entire regular season, Texas Tech and Wichita State, and they lost to Wichita State. They played Wichita State twice, I believe, actually. I apologize. Wait, was I looking at a different game that they lost? I might have been. No, it looks like they beat Wichita State. I must have been looking at a different game. Oh, they played Wichita State twice, won the first one, lost the second one. Alright, so anyways, on to the second game, Arkansas and Baylor, late game. Monday night. Started about 10 Eastern, which is pretty late, I'll be honest, for a game that a lot of people around the country are wanting to watch. Really good game from Arkansas. Another second half comeback, near second half comeback. Baylor was just able to put it away at the end. Moses Moody, they needed a bigger game out of. He just wasn't able to do it. Only 11 points. He didn't start. He started getting hot with about 2 minutes left, but by then it was just too late. They need more production out of him. 22 for Macio Teague for Baylor, and that's really what did it, was that guard trio of Mitchell, Butler, and Teague. Just absolutely fantastic from them. And just a good win for Baylor. I feel for Arkansas. I was hoping they'd win this game, as much as I hate to say it, because I like to root for chaos more than I like to root against my school's rivals, apparently. But here we are. Um, but Baylor, well deserved. They'll advance to the Final Four. Um, Next up, the third game, USC and Gonzaga. I said going into this game, I think USC can beat Gonzaga, but they have to have a monster scoring night out of Evan Mobley. He has to drop 25, maybe 30 points if they want to even have a chance. And he scored 17 and had 5 boards. I genuinely don't think he just had an awful tournament. I don't see how he's at this point a top prospect anymore. In my opinion, he's just had an awful tournament and hasn't really shown what you'd want out of him. Honestly, Isaiah Mobley would, I think, work better in the NBA. Maybe that's ridiculous to say, but Evan Mobley needs to be better scoring wise. For Gonzaga, fantastic game from the forwards and Timmy and Kispert. Double double for Jalen Suggs, almost a triple double. Only needed 2 more assists. But I just don't know if there's anyone that can stop Gonzaga. And it might have been dumb to assume or to even think that USC had a shot. Gonzaga 50% from the field, 33 at 66. Both teams didn't shoot that well from 3. The Zaga just out-rebounded and out-assisted them by quite a bit. And that's really where USC, I'd say, lost this game. The thing with USC is they were red hot. If there was anyone hot enough to beat Gonzaga, it'd be USC. They dropped 85 on Kansas, 82 on Oregon. But it just wasn't enough. Coming off that great win over UCLA and then a big win over Utah, got knocked out by Colorado, and then beat Drake, beat Kansas, beat Oregon, like I said. I thought they had a real shot. I guess I was wrong. And now, on to the final game. UCLA and Michigan. UCLA did it again. I don't know how I'm going to title this video because my last video about it was titled UCLA is hot. And I'll be honest, I kind of assumed that this would be it for them and I wouldn't have to worry about it. But then they went out today and beat Michigan. And now I have to come up with another title. I can't focus on another team. But Michigan they screwed up that second to last possession. I'll say it. Not the one with 6 seconds left. When they had the ball with about 15 seconds left, that should have just been a Dickinson post-up, easy basket, go to overtime. And they got cute. They shot a 3, and they missed, and then they had to foul. Or no, they would have won the game with the Dickinson post-up. But they got cute. They shot a 3. They missed, had to foul, down by 2, and Wagner airballs a 3, and you have half a second to shoot a 3, and then you miss, and that's game. That's just poor coaching, or just poor decision making in general. Johnny Juzang with 28, Tiger Campbell with 11, Hami Hawkes only with 4 tonight. He's been pretty good throughout this tournament, but this is really just, Hami Hawkes and Tiger Campbell combined for all but 12 of UCLA's points, which is, I guess, fair considering they played a combined 70 minutes. Not the kind of game you want to see out of Hami Hawkes. He was fine, but you wanted better. Hunter Dickinson was kind of taken over. UCLA was so slowly creeping back into the game. Like, it felt like they were coming back or not UCLA, Michigan. Like, beginning of the second half, the first 10 minutes, it felt like they were coming back and they're going to win this game. But then you look at the clock and it's been 5 minutes since they've scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes. But it still felt that way because it was such a defensive second half. Such a defensive game, really. Just 51-49 at the end. But Hunter Dickinson with 11, I felt like he had more. Just not a decent group effort scoring wise for Michigan, but just not enough at the end of the day. Um, Only 54% from the line. They only shot 11 free throws, but UCLA was 85%. Um, Michigan ridiculously out rebounded UCLA by a margin of 10. And really, Michigan should have won this game. It sucks they didn't. But UCLA is on to the Final Four. They'll be playing Gonzaga, which will be a good game. Can UCLA beat Gonzaga? I don't know. Looks like they've scheduled the games. They hadn't when I started recording, but they are. It does say they're scheduled now. Um, it'll be Houston Baylor first up on CBS at 4:14 p.m. and then second off will be UCLA and Gonzaga at 7:34 p.m. So I'm gonna give you guys my predictions on that. Probably maybe tomorrow, probably Friday. But yeah, leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.